My name is Cora and welcome to Craftopia, where we are creating a safe space for artists and crafters of all ages and experience levels to learn, create, explore, and grow. I'd like to invite you to check out our website at www.crafttopiawa.com, where you can learn more about our organization and vision and see a list of upcoming classes. You can also follow us on social media at CrafttopiaWA. Now, pull up a chair, get comfortable, and let's get crafty.
Gonna go in between these two. So we want one dot to start, and we're gonna grab our glue, and now we just have to decide what we want our firecracker to look like. This is really up to you, and you can go so many different ways as far as making your firecracker. Just be sure to add lots of glue. Don't be shy. The more glue you have, the more likely your pieces will stick together without having to add additional glue later. So I'm really just gonna lather up my dot here until there's a big old chunk of glue on there. Now this glue is super thick and super sticky. It does take about 24 hours to dry full, but it will grab your stuff pretty quickly. It also does dry clear, so you don't have to worry too much about getting it on other things, as once it's dry, you're not going to be able to see it. So let's set our glue aside and decide how we want to make our wand. I think I'm going to start with some of this fun little fringe. Now this fringe is pretty long, so we could do it with our little pieces sticking out. We could fold it in half, make it really long. It's also really easy to break, so I'm just going to tear that apart because I don't want it quite that long. And I think for these, I want my little ends sticking out. So I'm going to just lay it across and do that a couple of times so that it really gets a good starburst effect. Again, the awesome thing about this project is you can really go crazy and make something so completely unique that came out of your mind and no one else's. And you can do as little as as much as you want. You don't have to use everything that you had in your kit. So if there's something in there that's just not really pulling you creatively, feel free to leave it off. All right, I'm just gonna do a little bit of that, and then I'm gonna use some of this fun rope stuff that we have here. This stuff is super cool because it looks thick like a straw, but when you pull it tight, it gets even smaller. So you can squeeze it in there if you'd like. Mine is not cut up yet, so I'm going to just quick snip a few pieces, although yours in your kit will already be cut to some size. Again, now have to decide whether or not we want our wiggly ends out, or if we want to make it loop and kind of look like flower petals. You can do both. You also will have a Christmas tree ornament hanger inside your kit. This is really great for items like this. If you want to tie them together, you can use this essentially as a twist tie. Do be careful, they are kind of pokey, but you can stick them right through there and make all sorts of shapes with them that you'd like to do. So you can really, really get creative. So I'm going to do 2 loops and then have 2 little tassel-y ends there. I like texture, I like playing with layers and just doing something that nobody else will have thought of before. So we're going to do that. It kind of looks like a bow tie with its little things out there. And I'm going to squeeze this around. Now you could always put a bunch more stuff in before squeezing it around, but I don't want to get it too wacky just yet. So there we go. So I'm going to stick that one on top. Give it a good press down so it sticks onto that glue. Let's see, what else do we want? I think I want a little bit of this gold sequined to top it all off. And I think I just kind of want to plop that one across. Yeah, I'm kind of liking the way that looks. Let's see, should we put a big old heart on, or a big old flower on the top of that one? And then sandwich it all off with another red dot? Ooh, I like that. I think that's a lovely firework. Okay, so I'm going to create the other half of my sandwich here. I am going to grab my glue. This is definitely a project that requires a little bit more workspace because there's a lot of pieces that you can mix and match and create with. So having a little space will help. So I'm going to put a glob of glue there because I want my gold flower right on top of it. Perfect. And then I'm going to put another glob of glue there so that it will sandwich all of my pieces together. Now, if you don't want to scrape your glue out of your little baggie, you can also just cut the tip and squeeze it out. But I already had this baggie open from some other stuff I was playing with, so. All right, stick that back in there, and then this piece of our sandwich is going to go right on top. I'm going to give it a really, really good squeeze to make sure everything is there. You're going to want to hold it down for probably a good 10-20 seconds. So let's sit here and make sure it sticks all together while I look about what I'm going to do on top. So I think on top of all of this, I'm going to put a gold star right in the middle. Now, the next step is going to be attaching this to our straw. To do that, you're going to use the little glue dot that came in your package. Yours is going to look a little differently than this, just I have my whole pieces. You're going to peel off one piece of the paper, and you're going to see there's that really sticky little bit there. These are very sticky, so do be careful, because if you stick it on a table or a counter, you're probably not going to get it off, but that's why you have two in there in case something happens to one. I'm going to take my straw, stick it right in the middle of that glue dot, squeeze it on there really, really good, and then it should just peel right off. All right, so now I got my glue dot on my straw. I'm going to take my sandwich, now that it's had a chance to dry, flip it over, put my straw right in the middle, and give it another good squeeze there. If you're having a problem because you put too much stuff in your sandwich, you can also use that ornament hanger and poke it through the paper and tie it around. That does leave a bit of a pokey side on the outside, so be careful if you do that. But otherwise, we are all good to go. We have our very own firecracker wand. Check out all that bling. Woo! Now, do give it about 24 hours to dry before you start trying to practice any magic with it, just to make sure that everything sticks together. But once it's had a chance, go out there and create some fireworks.
We hope you had a good time crafting with us today. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below this video, or send us an email at info@crafttopiawa.com. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future crafty goodness. Until next time.